Alex Jebediah Jones, okay, everyone's favorite commentator. Alex Jones is in a bit of a hot water. You know, things are not looking too great for old Alex here, okay? Things are looking, as a matter of fact, real bad.
The latest on a family that lost a child in the Sandy Hook massacre, trying to rebuild their lives and to punish the man they accuse of spreading lies and causing chaos for them. Talk radio host Alex Jones has repeatedly given airtime to claims that the 2012 school shooting in Newtown, Connecticut was staged by the government. Those are quotes. The parents of 6-year-old Jesse Lewis are suing him for $150 million. As Janet Shamlian reports, Jones and the boy's parents came face to face yesterday during heart-wrenching testimony in an Austin, Texas courtroom.
I can't even describe the last 9.5 years of the living hell that I and others have had to endure because of the negligence and the recklessness of Alex Jones.
Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, the parents of Jesse Lewis, addressed the court Tuesday in their lawsuit against Alex Jones. Heslin and Lewis say they live in fear after receiving death threats, unwelcome emails, and phone calls as a result of Jones's lies.
My home was shot up. Vehicles were shot up in my yard.
Jones, who was noticeably absent for Heslin's testimony, was recording his podcast, continuing to attack the parents.
He was literally calling them slow and autistic on his broadcast while the fucking parents were offering testimony about how much they were impacted by Alex Jones' statements because his followers decided to act out his desires.
I think it's a disrespect. And I think it is a cowardly act of Alex Jones not to be facing me here in this courtroom.
Jones appeared in court later Tuesday.
I don't think that you understand the repercussions of going on air with a huge audience and lying.
Shaking his head as Lewis spoke to him directly.
Jesse was real. I am a real mom. I know you know that. That's the problem. I know you know that. And you keep saying it. You keep saying it. Why?
The judge appearing to grow frustrated with Jones's attitude during the hearing.
I remember currently.
Stop. Remember day one where I said it's an unfair world and you don't get to interrupt the judge?
That's a woman judge. That's why women should not be allowed to serve in court. Obviously, because I'm a patriot and I said the truth that I said, a woman judge is going to try to take me down, just like divorce court took me down one time, ladies and gentlemen. AlexJones.com, Infowars.com. Women judges should be made illegal.
Sure. Yeah.
Jones attempted to speak with the parents after taking the stand, shaking hands with them. An attorney for the family quickly ended the interaction, exchanging words with Jones on the way out of the courtroom.
Oh, I wasn't kidding. Oh, I know this, by the way. For the record, I do know this. Alex Jones said the judge and the plaintiff's lawyers in the Sandy Hook trial all act demonically possessed and are committed to an occult ideology of the New World Order.
And they're all caricatures of what you would imagine in some alternate universe of dwarf goblins. It's demonic. They all act demonically possessed. The judge, the lawyers, it's surreal to be around them. And it makes you feel sorry for them because these people are committed to a cult ideology of the New World Order.
When you're currently on trial for defamation and you're getting your ass blasted, okay? Why the fuck would you turn around and be like, the judges, demonic monsters? Like, he just can't stop himself, I think. Do you still think he's CIA? Yes. The best evidence that Alex Jones is a true conspiracy guy is that he could have easily hired a top-tier firm to capably represent him, but he doesn't trust the establishment, so instead he hired a parade of bumbling morons who immediately tanked both their case and their careers. When I found out through discovery, through following this court case, how much money this motherfucker was making, it blew my goddamn mind, okay? Real top G behavior. Folks, Alex Jones made upwards of $800,000 a fucking day, according to court documents. The texts and emails are finally revealing financials behind InfoWars. Some days in 2018, InfoWars was making $800,000 a day. Well, after you're deplatforming, your numbers keep getting better, says the Sandy Hook parents' lawyer. If they keep that up, that's $300 million a year. Alex Jones says $800,000 a day was a really good week during CPAC where they were doing better business. And the only reason why we know this information is because Alex Jones decided to do the Elon Musk thing, shouts out to Felix Biederman for this joke, and hired fucking Twitter lawyers, I guess, because his team is so incompetent. Remember, we're talking about $800,000 a day this motherfucker was making. And here, finally, it's time to show you this big reveal. His fucking law team are comprised of absolute idiots, okay?
So you did get my text messages, and it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones. Oh. Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over.
Just
And
answer
you
the
said-
question. Mr. Bankston also only asked questions.
Sure. Mr. Jones, in discovery, you were asked, do you have Sandy Hook text messages on your phone? And you said no, correct? You said that under oath, Mr. Jones, didn't you?
I mean, if I was mistaken, I was mistaken. But you got the message.
He's like, yeah, I perjured myself, whatever.
It's right there.
You know what perjury is, right? I just want to make sure you know before we go any further. You know what it is.
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not a tech guy. I told you I gave in my testimony the phone to the lawyers before or whatever, and so you got my phone, but we didn't give it to you.
No, Mr. Jones. One more time. And please remember, if you need to assert the Fifth Amendment, you can. I need to know that you can do that. But you testified.
I don't know if they fucking did this shit on purpose, but goddamn, dude, it sure feels like it was done on purpose considering how fucking awful they are. I mean, look at his face, bro. This is literally the moment that he realizes, like, they have all of his text messages, like everything from his fucking phone. January 6th committee is planning to request Alex Jones's text messages and emails from the Sandy Hook attorneys after his lawyer accidentally sent years worth of comms to the plaintiffs, dude. Does he just have the worst lawyers in the world? Yes. The January 6th House Committee is preparing to request the trove of Alex Jones' text messages and emails revealed Wednesday in a defamation lawsuit filed by the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre. Rolling Stone has learned on Wednesday, Sandy Hook victims attorney Mark Bankston told Jones that his attorney had mistakenly sent Bankston 3 years worth of the conspiracy theorist emails and text messages copied from his phone. Now, a source familiar with the matter and another person briefed on it tell Rolling Stone the January 6th committee is preparing to request that data from the plaintiff attorneys in order to aid its investigation of the insurrection. These internal deliberations among the committee, which is probing the former President Donald Trump's role in causing the deadly January 6th Capitol riot, began within minutes of the lawyer's revelation being heard on the trial's live stream on Wednesday afternoon. You already know this motherfucker's heavily involved in January 6th. This is convincing me that Alex Jones is CIA. All I'm saying is, I've been under the impression and have talked about how I personally believe that Alex Jones is fucking CIA and that his goal ultimately is to belittle and undermine real conspiracies that the government engages in regularly by having one good take in a sea of 1,000 psychotic takes to make it seem like every time you say something like, well, you know, did you know about the MK Ultra trials? It's like, well, the only person who's talking about it is someone like fucking Alex Jones. So ultimately, you're going to be like, well, he also talks about psychotic vampires and shit. So obviously, all of that must be fake. Alex Jones is a fake conspiracy theorist created by the CIA to ensure that real government conspiracies, conspiracy to conspire, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about fucking conspiracy theories. Real things that the government does makes it seem ridiculous because the only person who's outing said things is a belligerent, psychotic person with high blood pressure.
Jones outside court continued to say the families were being manipulated. For Lewis and Heslin, their son's life and death was very real.
He did live. I was blessed with him for 6.5 years. He's been gone 1.5 times. But I cherish those days, those years with Jesse.
For CBS Mornings, Janet Shamley in Houston.
I'm speechless.
There are no words. There are no words.
You know, one of the parents said, it's like losing a limb. Like, I know it's supposed to be there, but it's not there.
My heart just goes out to those families who, after all these years, are still suffering and are still in pain and are still going through this trauma.
This motherfucker, it's like he's trying to lose. Not only did he perjure himself on like no emails, no text messages, whatever, he lied, but he also went on his show and said the judge was a dude in a fucking defamation court case. And he went on fucking his show during the trial and said the judge is a like, there is, what do you do about this man? He has an army. Like, this man who is this fucking stupid, who is this fucking unhinged, has a revenue stream that is $800,000 a day at certain points in 2018 during CPAC. He has had the previous president, Donald Trump, on his fucking broadcast. This is America. This is how bad things really are.
All I know is
Withdraw.
is that I take this very serious.
Withdrawn, so stop.
Tell this jury you're taking this trial seriously. But you're telling the world that someone inside Travis County government rigged the jury summons and picked these jurors specifically who don't know what planet they are on. Correct? That's what you're telling the world.
I'm saying that could potentially be a danger if they don't know what's going on.
I think that's potentially what you're saying. Potentially.
Bro, he was already omega fucked to begin with, but there is nothing funnier than being on trial for defamation, where like your words impacted the lives of Sandy Hook victims to a degree where you are being successfully sued, and what your fans did after your unhinged sentiments, like directly your fucking action and reaction in that situation is why you're on trial. There's nothing funnier than continuing to do the exact same thing about the fucking judge and the jury. I don't know what to say. He can't fucking help himself, dude. It is so insane.
You didn't go on your show and say those words, is what you're going to tell me.
Can you show me?
I would be happy to. For
Please
the
do.
purposes of impeachment, we would like to now offer a video from Mrs. Jones' show on Friday saying those words.
The funniest part about this trial, though, is that his fucking fan base is so incredibly deranged that he could just as easily be like, I was deep fake, that wasn't me in trial, and they would believe it. Dude, this is my lawyer, dog. I'm going to jail after the January 6th committee finds all my fucking text messages, okay? I mean, look at this man.
Let's go ahead and play that video PDX 35.
Yeah, a lot of people are awake to the New World Order, but they're experts in leftist jurisdictions in sending out jury summons and hitting, let's just say this, extremely blue-collar folks. I mean, half that jury panel does not know who I am. They said that, and when they were asked during the jury impaneling yesterday, do you believe the media has ever got anything wrong about Alex Jones? They all unanimously said no. So it's people do live in all these different bubbles. And there's the bubbles that are awake and the bubbles that are questioning, but then there's the blue city bubbles where people do not know what planet they are on.
Mr. Jones, you don't like that.
Why are they platforming Alex Jones in the court? Can't believe they're showing Alex Jones in the court case. Why are they platforming him?
This jury is made up of blue-collar folk. You think that's wrong?
No, I don't think that.
You don't think they know what planet they're on?
I'm saying some people, like you said in your opening statements, that live in bubbles. We all live in bubbles. And if people live in a mainstream media bubble, they might not have ever seen what I really say or done. That's what I was saying.
You say, Mr. Jones, that you're taking these court proceedings seriously. You're approaching them in good faith. But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge on fire, haven't you?
Objection compound, Your Honor.
No.
You have to wait till the court rules.
Oh.
Overruled. There was a statement and then a question.
Mr. Jones, I'm going to hand you what I've marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 129. That's from your show, isn't it?
I can't understand a better way to get fucking absolutely destroyed other than doing exactly this. He's on trial. Defamation that led to actual instances of like genuine and legitimate harassment. And he's trying to do that to the fucking judge. That is wild, bro.
That's Justice on Fire.
Huh, okay. That's from your show, isn't it?
Yes, I haven't seen this.
And you've been running this video repeatedly, haven't you?
No, I've not been there all the time.
You haven't been there a lot of the time. You've been there every day this last week, haven't you?
He's saying that's justice itself, not the specific judge.
No, I taped some of the shows.
The person.
Yeah, that's Lady Justice on Fire, chat. I can't do this. I mean, this is the most, like, this is like mathematically the worst thing you can do. I cannot think of a word, like, it's an admission. It's also a direct attack on the person who's deliberating on the case. Like I don't understand how you could do such a thing. Do you get it?
On the left of this image is our judge, correct?
Yes.
The person on the right is another judge you don't like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Relatable, honestly. Wait, hold on. After they leaked it, Alex Jones's lawyer who leaked his phone sitting there motionless trying to look like the thinker. This is 100% what I would do. Yeah, I was just like, huh. How did that get into the hands of the Sandy Hook lawyers? Every part of this is real content gold. Especially because, like, there's a clear evil and a clear good here. You know what I mean? There is no... The only people that are on the side of Alex Jones in this are the most unhinged people